complete freedom in how you play. Set the parameters of your game and simply run the farm your way. Your goal is to build a global farming empire with absolutely no handholding. Just as in real life, decision-making skills, but we're sure you know what you're doing. 3 different...
Hello again, I am Jim Bob and welcome back to some Pure Farming 2018. Today we're going to be starting a free farm here in Italy. I'm going to start with quite a generous $200,000 balance with some clear skies starting in the morning. Going to kind of bounce around and do a few different Let's Plays here, looking at the different locations. Obviously we're going to start in Italy, but we've also got Colombia for coffee farming and hemp, Japan for rice, Germany for things like canola and sheep as well. That's obviously the pre-order DLC map, and then Montana, which is the map that we had for my first farm when we did some live streaming last week. But yeah, we're going to start here in Italy. We'll work in Italy for a while and then we'll relocate to one of the other countries and check those out. So let's jump in and start with Italy. So here we are in Italy, and you can see time actually moves, even on ×1, the slowest setting, time actually moves pretty quick. Now, there is a patch that has already gone live on PC and is going to be coming to consoles in the next couple of weeks that will allow you to really slow time right down to real time. So 1 minute in game will become 1 minute in real life, and vice versa. But we don't have that option just yet, so time moves really quickly. You have to be kind of careful that stuff doesn't kind of escape and get away from you. We have a couple of groves that we can look at. In fact, if I just pop the drone, you can see exactly what we start with. So this is us. This is our home farm area, as you can see. We have, a few water towers dotted around. There's one that we're going to go to in just a second. And we have a couple of groves that we start with. We start with this grove just here, I think. Nope. Where is the grove that we start with? Here it is. Our olive grove just here. So we own this particular grove and that's it. So you can see one of the things I love with the drone is these 3D sort of bar chart kind of graph bars that pop up and show you the irrigation level, spraying level, and how much is left in your water tank. It's a really cool little feature. And the drone can do other things as well. So, for example, you can see this field here. We can actually buy this with the drone. We can just hover over it and buy it, which is... if we wanted to buy this greenhouse, which we will do, we can buy it like that. Boom, there we go. We own that greenhouse. You can see the sign just being built on the edge there. And there we go. We have I think it's eggplant. Yes, we have an eggplant greenhouse at the farm, which is a really cool little thing that we can do. We can hover around with the drone, check out the map, and we can also check out, as I say, the condition of our fields and make any purchases that we want to as well. So I'm going to buy another grove over the next couple of days. I'm going to start with this vineyard here as well. We'll buy this, and we'll leave it at that for now. We'll get another couple of fields tomorrow. I want to kind of stagger them because it can take a little while to work these vineyards, and with time whizzing through so quickly, there's a risk that your crop can spoil before you have time to harvest it. So you want to kind of stagger your planting when it comes to these things. But we're going to transfer some water into our water tank here. There we go. And we're going to go and top up the water tanks on our vineyards. Then we're going to go and buy a spraying system from the store. In fact, we'll buy a second tractor as well, and then we can use that to bring the spray system back. Because there's a couple of other things we're going to need as well. We're going to need, I think, a trailer to unload our harvester into. It's a basic sort of pull behind attachment. Oh, no, it just disconnected. Did not transfer contents. There we go. Let's get some water into the tank, and that way we can start spraying and irrigating these trees here. That'll happen automatically. We don't need to do anything. It'll just automatically happen. We could sprinkle the trees as well if we wanted to, but by topping up the water tanks, it fills up the sprinklers, which is really kind of helpful for us. And of course, if it rains, we kind of get some irrigation for free as well. So this first day is literally going to be sort of setting everything up, getting our 2 groves up and running as quick as we can. You can see that there are black trees on the minimap at the moment, which indicates there's nothing on them. They haven't grown, there's nothing to grow. And then that little green symbol there indicates that it's a field that we own on field 4 there. So let's transfer that water over as well. There we go. And just to kind of get our trees started, we are going to quickly sprinkle these trees as well. So we want to turn on work. No, we don't want to turn work on. I'm thinking of something else. Oh, there we go. Look, you saw. This is just a transport truck trailer, so really all we need to do is just transport the water over there. You can see the sprinklers will come on automatically and they will irrigate the field for us. We'll just have to make sure that we keep topping up those tanks. So where is... There it is, there's the water tower. We'll make our way back, we'll top up with a bit more water. I do like the fact that the water is free in these tanks, we don't have to pay for it. You know, we can just fill up our transport tank like that with no cost. And let's go and do the same to the storage tank on the wine grove that we've purchased, which is field number 4, these lighter coloured trees. And there's those sprinklers working away all through that grove there. There we go. Let's transfer contents. Excellent stuff. Loop our way around. Again, we're going to go back and get some more water so we can finish topping that up. We're at 60% water storage at the moment. Sprinkling level is currently at 0. We will need to kind of fix that. Hopefully those sprinklers will come on nice and soon for us, and that should sort out the sprinkle level for us. Let's get cruise control switched on. Oops, no, wrong button. I'm trying to go into cab. My brain is still hardwired with the Giants controls. Every time I play Farming Simulator, it just overwrites the controls that I've been learning for this in my memory. Just trying to see if I can get the field information to pop. There we go. So you can see the water level is improving. Sprinkling level is how much fertilizer we've added. So we need to go and buy a fertilizer sprinkler in just a moment. But we have a little bit of water left over in the tank, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to loop around this way and top up that tank there again with whatever's left over in here. That should hopefully sort us out quite nicely. There we go, so you can see that's gone in already. So let's go return this back to our little sort of area over here by the greenhouse. Oop, a little bit of lag there. Game just froze for a second. Yeah, let's leave this parked up here. I mean, this is where it's going to live, isn't it? So, it makes sense. Let's detach. And we need to head to the store. So, the store is we're going to shortcut through here, but the store is sort of over there somewhere, out towards the west. Oh, clunky driving. It's kind of refreshing to see that I'm a terrible driver, no matter what game I'm playing, be it pure farming or farming simulator. I just seem to crash into just about anything and everything. And the traffic is brutal on this road. It only goes in one direction, loops around, but it drives slap bang in the middle of the road. And if you're going in the opposite direction, he will just run you straight off the road, ram into you. You know, there's nothing you can do about that. That's a little disappointing. And I think that's something that needs to be looked at, is the traffic programming for at least for this map. I haven't really played much on the other maps, so I can't really comment on those. But here in Italy, yeah, you get these vans that just drive around and force you off the road constantly. So we need what do we need? Where is it? No, it's not in cultivation. Is it trailers? Yes, here we go, trailers. Oh, that's a big water trailer. It's a heavy tractor, or a medium tractor. I think we might actually buy one of those and get rid of our little simper. What's this? This Pro Warm. That's for milk. Okay, so we can't use that. And then these obviously are way too big. What is this, though? That's just for crops. We want a multi-purpose trailer that's going to be good for fruit. So that's there. This is for transportation of bulk goods. So that is designed for things like eggs and pallets and cartons and things, and greenhouses. This one here for crops and miscellaneous goods. I think that's a grain trailer. I don't think that'll work with orchards. This one, you can see here, is used for transportation of grain, hemp, grass, fruits and vegetables. So I think this is the trailer that we're going to need. And it's quite big for our little Landini. We're going to need something a little bit bigger. So let's get a new tractor as well. Let's get the second Landini here. This, as you can see, is classed as a heavy type tractor. It's pretty powerful and is obviously a bit bigger than what we're used to as well. So we'll buy one of those. I don't think we actually paid for the other equipment, did we? Let's have a look. No, all we've done so far is buy the Landini. So we need to actually buy the sprayer. Where is the sprayer? Is it an other? There, that's what we want. We want one of those. And so we can fertilise our groves. We do need a decent trailer, which is going to be this one. There we go. And as I say, I would like, I think it was in trailers, maybe get a larger water trailer as well. Let's buy this. And now let's sell our original Simper water trailer. There we go. No point having two of those. This is the orchard harvester. It's slow going, but it's got a decent kind of capacity. We can get 23, nearly 24,000 for it. Now there is a self-propelled version in combines. It's a little expensive though. It is 110,000. It's quite pricey, so we're going to hold off on getting that just yet. This is why we have two tractors. So here's the trailer. Look at the size of this. Huge. It's a monster. And here's the water trailer. Bigger capacity than what we had before. And this is our big Landini. Look at this, how bulky this thing looks compared to our smaller little 115 that we've been using. It definitely feels bigger on the inside as well. It feels a lot bigger and wider. Ooh, different engine sound as well. Sounds a little bit meatier. A bit more purposeful. And it certainly has a bit more poke to it as well in the acceleration. So let's transport this water trailer back. Then we're going to have to come back and collect the trailer with this tractor. And then we'll use our little 115 to bring the sprinkler back and start fertilizing our groves. quite a pleasant little environment, actually, this little Italy map. Not a huge map, but it's a decent size. Big volcano that kind of dominates the centre of the map. So you can just see it there out the window. That's a volcano. It's not a mountain or a hill, it's an actual volcano. I don't know if it ever erupts. I hope it doesn't, but that could be disastrous. It will wipe out this entire village area if it ever did go off. There we go. So we'll park this up just here. Disconnect that. There we go. Let's go back and get the train. Yeah, this is definitely a bit pokier, this track, so it gets up to speed a lot quicker. You can see there, look, the water level 99% now. We've almost emptied the water storage, so we're going to have to top that up again in a moment. That's something I think we'll have to get in the habit of doing every day, is topping up our water tanks. And you can see already, look at the time, it's already 1 past 1. Even on the slowest time setting, time does move very fast. So that is being patched, which is good, because it just, it whizzes through way too quickly at the moment, even on, as I say, the slowest setting. The day can be over really quickly. They are lengthening the day itself as well. I'm going to make night time a little bit shorter, the daytime a little bit longer. That's another feature that's going to be added in with the update, as well as being able to jump and sprint. Both things that I default want to do every time I get out and move around on foot, because that's what I can do on Farming Simulator. Again, it's just hardwired into my brain to try and use the same controls or the same features. Something I do need to try and get out of the habit of. And really take this game's control system to task and to heart. It's just, you can't help it though. It's muscle memory. You have a certain way of playing and a certain set of controls that you're used to, and then you play something very similar, and your brain immediately just tries to make the connection to use what you've already used. Here's the little switching wheel. I like this. Now that we have two tractors, you can actually see, because we're not in one, you can actually cycle between the two, and it kind of shows you where they are on the map at the same time, which is kind of cool. Right, so we need to get this connected, and we need to fill it up. There is a fertilizer tank there, but I don't know if we can actually use that, because I don't think we own that shed. So it might not let us top up just there. We'll give it a try. Just looking out for crazy Italian van drivers looking to run us off the road. So will it let me fill up here? Yes, it will. Excellent. There we go. Looking forward to getting more detailed interiors with the patch as well. That is something that's going to be worked on. I'm sure in the future we'll get improvements to some of the features as well. You see the tablet there mounted on the windscreen. That will be removable, I think. It just says, remove tablet from windows or from cockpits. I don't know if that's going to just automatically remove from everything and not come back, or whether it'll give us the option. I actually quite like having the tablet there. Not on all vehicles, but I like the fact that it can be put there. So if it's just removes it and never gives you the option to actually choose whether it's on or off, that would be a little bit of a disappointment to me, I think. But we'll have to wait and see. I mean, if you've got this on PC and you've already had that update, please let me know in the comments. Does it remove it entirely, or does it give you a toggle option to actually turn it on or off? Because I would like to know. So let's get these trees fertilized. You see our sprinkle level going up. Our water storage definitely needs to be topped up again. So once we've sprinkled both of our vineyards, this well, both of our orchards. This is an olive grove. That's a wine grove just over there. Once they've both been sprinkled, we will then top up their water level again, and then we'll turn our attentions to our greenhouse and get that set up as well. And so far I have enjoyed my time with the game. I have tinkered a little bit around in Italy before recording this series, so just so I had a rough idea of what to expect. And obviously a few hours before the game went live, where we played around in my career mode, my first farm, and I have since done a little bit more of my first farm in my own time as well. I was hoping to get more footage of this up earlier than this, but I haven't been very well recently, so I've had to kind of hold off on doing recordings, hence the slight delay. So apologies for not getting the footage up a little bit quicker than this, but this was really the first available opportunity for me to actually get it recorded and then put up for the channel. So it's a few days late, and for that I do apologise. It is great to see though that already within... See, the game went live on Tuesday, and the patch for PC users went live on Friday. So within the space of 3 days, after listening to the players and the customers, they implemented a whole series of changes. There's full patch notes available in their forums, on the Techland forums, and it's a heavy list. It's a big list of changes, and you can see that what they've also done is there were some that changes that they've implemented themselves, some bug fixes that they've done, some little tweaks and alterations that they've made based on their sort of their viewing of other people playing the game, and then you also see a whole list of features that are underlined that have been tweaked or changed or added or implemented based on player suggestions and player feedback. So you can see how much of a direct impact the player base has had with the first update, because about a third of the entire update is all player suggestions. A lot of things have changed, and obviously not all of those things are going to be applicable to console users. This is very much a PC update, and so some of those features will only be necessary and applicable to the PC. Some of those bugs may well only be applicable to the PC, and likewise there'll be no doubt some bugs on the console version that are absolutely fine on PC, not bugs at all. So each format is going to have its own little tweaks that are going to be needed, and no doubt there'll even be disparity between the patches on each console, between the Xbox One and the PS4. No doubt something will work better on one system than the other, and vice versa. So it might need to be tweaked on one of the consoles, but not the other one. And again, you'll see that in the patch notes for each system. Usually they're pretty much the same, but every now and again, one system will struggle to do something that another one can do a little bit better, and it needs to be patched on one of the systems rather than the other. And sometimes it's on Xbox, sometimes it's on PlayStation. It depends on the game and depends on the situation. But I am looking forward to fuel consumption rate, the ability to slow time down to real time, to just slightly increase the daytime cycle, to be able to jump and sprint, to make changes to the interior to get better detailed models. Hopefully beacons will be improved. I'd like to see indicators added in the future. The game is a little arcadey at the moment. It's not a full-on simulation yet, but I think given some tweaking and some feedback, it will continue to get a little bit more simulatory. It's always a risk when you are starting a new franchise, I think, to try and go full-on simulation, because you immediately alienate potential customers by being too heavy, too full-on. Likewise, if you go too arcadey, you immediately alienate the simulation fans. It's always a difficult sort of line to walk, I think. And I think for the most part, Techland and Ice Flames have done a very good job of finding that balance. It has some arcadey elements, it has some simulation-y elements. It's not too arcadey, but it's not quite as full on as Farming Simulator is. It's a little more laid back in places, and I think that needs to be kind of just tweaked a little bit. But again, it's good that it's not too full on as a simulation, because it loses the casual player, and then it becomes a very, very niche title, which means it only appeals to a small, which means a lack of income and a reduced budget to work on the title and develop it further, and you don't see changes as quickly. And if the title doesn't do well enough, then it becomes a flop and potentially becomes an axed project, and the franchise becomes a one and done kind of thing. So I think it's a fine line that needs to be walked. It's a tight rope that needs to be balanced on, and I think for the most part they've done a very good job of balancing the arcadey aspects for the casual player with the simulation aspects for the slightly more hardcore player. I think it's unfair to do a straight comparison between the two games, between Farming Simulator and between this game, because they're two different types of game for the most part. This, as I say, a little bit more casual than Farming Simulator, and if you are going to do a comparison, you have to compare base game to base game. I mean, Farming Simulator now is a game, in terms of Farming Sim 17, that's been out for 18 months now. Nearly. Yeah, about 18 months. That game's been out. We've got with the next iteration out later this year in October. And this is a game that has got a huge amount of mod support, not just on PC, but now on console as well. A lot of mod support on console. Huge number of maps, loads of different bits of equipment, and some full-on simulation add-ons as well, such as ground response and of course seasons. These are real game-changing mods that have taken what was a decent base game and made it a lot more in-depth, especially seasons. And if you're going to compare Farming Simulator to pure farming, you have to take mods out of the equation. It's unfair to go, this game is rubbish because it doesn't have mods. It will have mods. Mod support is there, and it just needs to be sort of taken on by the community, and that will happen over time. But you can't compare the base game of Farming Simulator, the base game of pure farming, against a game that's had 18 months of mod support in Farming Simulator 17. And not only that, Farming Simulator is a franchise that's been around for 10 years now. This is the first attempt. So you have to take that into consideration as well. Everyone has to start somewhere. And if you don't consider those factors, then you are unfairly harsh in potential criticism of this if it doesn't hold up in your eyes. There are a lot of things that you do need to sort of take into consideration. Now, this is a bug that I've found. We've run this thing to empty and we can't turn it off. It's still acting as though it's switched on, so we can't go above 7 miles an hour to a top-up point, which is sort of over this hill, I think, if I'm going the right way. I'm pretty sure I am. Then we'll be able to then quickly turn on and off the sprayer, and then we'll be able to get up to normal speed again. You saw I tried to kind of override that by disconnecting it and then reconnecting it, and it wouldn't have it. That's where we need to be, down there. So the game at the moment still thinks that this thing is switched on, which is limiting our speed to a maximum of 7 miles per hour. So this is something that is going to need to be fixed. It may well be one of the things that is going to be fixed in the first patch. But as I say, once we get this topped up, you can see there's our fertilizer top up there. Once we top this up, we can turn it on and then quickly turn it off again, and then that'll clear the issue, and then we'll be able to move at full speed. But it's something I forgot and remembered as I ran empty. Don't run your equipment empty like this, because you will end up, at least until it's patched, just stuck at a crawl like this, making your way to the refill point, not being able to go any faster. So here we are, we've made it just about. Let's buy some fertilizer. And you can see I'm still stuck in this low speed, but if I turn it on and turn it off, now I've got normal speed control back. So there's a little kind of workaround for you until that bug gets fixed. You know, if you have that issue, just if you have run your when you refill it, turn it on, turn it off instantly, and then that should clear it and allow you to actually start sprinkling or start moving at full speed again, so you can get back to where you need to sprinkle a lot faster. Right, which one of these rows do I need to be in? I think it's this one here. Yes, this one here. So let's turn on. There you can see we are spraying away on these ones. Let's get some lights on as well. Cruise control back on. And this is what I mean by the time whizzing through far too fast, even on the slowest setting. It's now gone 7 o'clock in the evening, so we've burnt through 12 hours of light already in the space of, what, half an hour. So that is definitely something that is being addressed in the patch, and time will slow down, because it is a little bit too fast right now. This is the last pass that we need to make with the sprayer, with the sprinkler. Then our products will be fertilised. We may need to come back and give them another application later. Still not 100% certain on the sort of crop mechanics as to whether we need to come back and sprinkle these a second time. And you can see the water storage is, again, really low on this, so I'm going to top that up as well. So I'm going to go park this just up here near our trailer, so it's sort of in between both groves. There we go, we'll park up here. Our other tractor with the trailer is around the other side. So let's leave the vehicle there. Let's jump into our larger Landini. This is the same one we just jumped out of, isn't it? Yeah. Let's jump into our larger Landini. There we go. We'll detach from the trailer. Get some lights on. There you can hear that different engine sound. That's nice. We're going to go connect up to our water trailer, which is just around this rock, and we'll top up our water tanks again. And we'll also start working on this greenhouse as well, and then that's going to be it for the first day and for the first episode. Oops. So there we go. We're hooked up. Let's transfer. This thing is much bigger capacity. Look at that, fantastic. So there's a water butt just around the corner here for the greenhouse. There it is. So we'll transfer into the greenhouse. There we go. That's used up half of the water in the tanker. And now we'll do the same with these big water tanks here along the grove itself. Okay, so we're going to need another run to make sure that that gets filled up, and we've got enough to do the other tank as well. Water storage level 69%. So yeah, definitely needs a little bit more water. I do love how bright these headlights are though. Sometimes I do feel they're perhaps just a little bit too bright, but they do give us a really nice kind of easy to see, you know, wrong button again, trying to go inside the cab. You know, when you're in here, you really do get to see very clearly where the front of your vehicle is pointing at. and when you're outside the cab as well, if you go up, we'll zoom out a bit. That's as far as we can zoom out with at the moment. Again, that is something that is being worked on with the patch as well, as an increased zoom distance, so we can zoom out a little bit further. There we go, that tank full. Let's swing around to the other one. So yeah, lots and lots of little changes that are going to be coming and already available for PC players. A huge list. Water storage currently at 12% on this field. It'll go up in a moment quite dramatically. There we go, full with 52 gallons left in the tanker. Fantastic. So last thing we need to do before we can sort of call it a day and turn it in for the night is to get the fertilizer up and running on our greenhouse. We've got the water set up. Now we need the fertilizer so that the stuff can start growing. So let's park up here. Let's turn the lights off. Let's jump into our truck. There we go. Let's get some lights on. So we want to get our greenhouse full of fertilizer. Now the easiest way for us to do that, if I can figure out how I'm going to get out of here. Shouldn't have gone forward, I should have just reversed. There we go. Again, I'm going the wrong way. I reversed the wrong way around the waterfall there, the little fountain. The way we do this is, we can use a small trailer, which I don't think we can hitch up to the back of our pickup. Or we can use the pickup itself. We're going to use the pickup itself. It's a shortcut through here. And we're going to go and put some fertilizer bags in the back of the pickup. Now we need 10. We can fit 9 in the back of the pickup. So we're going to have to make a second trip. There we go. That's as many as we can buy. So you can see we have 9 bags. If we zoom in a bit, 9 bags stacked there. 3 stacks of 3 in the back of our pickup. We're going to go and take these and transfer these to our greenhouse. It's taking a slightly different route back, going in at the wrong side of the village. There we go. And the fertilizer bay is around the other side. That's where our product will appear when it's ready. And this is where we store the fertilizer, just here. So let's transfer the contents, and as you can see we're at 90% now, so we need to go and buy some more fertilizer. A little bump as we hit that ramp, swing around the corner, just clip the wall. I was trying so hard to avoid doing that and did it anyway. It seems that no matter which farming game I play, my driving is always terrible. Oops, wrong button. Just buy the 1 bag for now. There we go, another 20 bucks. Just head back, put this in, that'll put us at 100% fertilizing for our greenhouse. And then that's going to be it for our first day. As you can see, it's gone 10 o'clock already. Come through so quickly. You can see there, look, there is the sprinklers inside our greenhouse automatically coming on. And now that we have fertilizer, stuff is starting to grow. In fact, we could have actually bought an extra bag, but never mind. Let's transfer the contents. So we're at 6% growth. We're going to have to come back and add more fertilizer and more water in the future. That's a given. But not a bad first day, I think. We got our 2 groves up and running. And we also bought a new tractor, a new trailer, a new water tanker. Got rid of the old one. Got a greenhouse up and running as well. So yeah, I think we've had a pretty successful day here. Let's turn in then. There we go. And I will see you back in the morning for another episode here in Italy on Pure Farming 18. Thanks for watching. I'm Jim Bob, and I'll see you soon.